Hey,
Just get your food whenever they're ready.
hey, Shalom Haïti. Y'a bashim y'a shabbat katam tu à tout fait de yo y'a shumarata bashim y'a shumarata bashim y'a à tout fait de yo. Mais c'est officiellement de 1000 ailleurs avec ISUPK qui c'est école israélite de la connaissance universelle et pratique. Ça nous enseigne là, c'est exactement ça qui est dans la Bible là. Ça vous parle aujourd'hui, hein, c'est exactement la fête des trompettes. Côté exactement fête exactement fête des trompettes ça. Côté exactement montrer exactement vraie culture haïtienne. Vraie culture nous, c'est pas voodoo, mais exactement ça pour là. Classe la parle en anglais. Parle en anglais. Alors, sous des questions, sous des commentaires, mettez sous chat là, moi-même, ou officier de 5000 Yataza, à bord exactement réponse là. Alors, m'a quitté nous là avec, vous comprenez, officier de Mills Badger, vous comprenez, qui sont Toronto, nous là, Montréal, Canada, la première. Mais c'est sur Toronto. Il vient à Montréal exactement pour faire classe ça. Officier en stade de 500, vous comprenez, One. Il est là exactement à Montréal pour faire exactement bagay ça yo. Classe ça parle en anglais. Pour tout haïtien, classe ça parle en anglais. Alors, si vous avez une question, pas oublier exactement, mettez sous chat là, mettez exactement ou contactez officier Yatazar ou moi-même et n'a pas exactement réponse de ce ça va après là aujourd'hui. All right? Shalom Israel.
All right, we're gonna start in one moment. Brock, can you get me some chase as well? Huh? No, Brock's gonna get me a separate cup of kasha. Brock's gonna come up in a second. We're also live on ISUPK Haiti. So like if I mispronounced it, ISUPK Haiti. We're gonna open up the feast as we speak. Everyone who's in here, Akiam Aquafium, there's food. Help yourself to the food and drinks. We're gonna open up the blowing of trumpets. Officer Baraki Allah, state your registry.
Okay. Officer 50, Baraki Allah, Ban Yamyan, Ban Yasharala.
Officer 50
Baraki Allah, Ban Yamyan, Ban Yasharala.
Salute.
Yaba Shema Shabrak Thumb.
Yaba Shema Shabrak Thumb.
Approach your podium. All right, turn to me. With your left hand, no, Slovakia, with your right hand.
I said with the left, drink with the right.
Right. Extend your hand. And then put your left hand at Majim. Salaki at Barak. And then you're going to hold the chalice in the air. And La Yasher Allah.
La Yasher Allah.
To Israel.
To Israel.
All right, you can drink it.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go into the prayers. As we start, as tradition, we start with the holy prayers, right? We're going to read them in the Hebrew, and then we're going to break them down in the English. We're going to read them in the English. Imajim, which means to stand. Sarapan Yah HaKodam, which means turn and face the east. So we're all going to turn and face the east. Barak, you said the east is this way?
Oh, okay.
All right. So we're going to start with the Lord's Prayer. I'm going to read it in the Hebrew.
Did you want to use it in English?
In Babakashah.
Okay.
And then you're going to read in English for me, and Barak is going to read the Hebrew when we start breaking down the scripture.
Okay.
All right, so this is the Lord's Prayer. Salakia. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, as the men above us and as our forefathers and foremothers have always read it. This is Matthew 6, verses 8 to 13. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabashmayan.
Shabashmayan.
Kodash.
Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwavka. Aba'ah. Batazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Hayah.
Bashmayan.
Bashmayan.
The
Thundernow. Ka. Yawam. Wasalakna.
Kawatna.
Kasalakna.
Kawatna.
Wala'ah.
Tabayana.
Manasai 1.
Abba.
Hawashina.
Mayan.
Right. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Wahala. Wahatapara. Aman. In English, what we said, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever so be it.
So, okay, we're going to read Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al-Damayah.
Hakak.
Thakarash. Wa. Thashakwat. Kaya. Hana.
Awayabyaka.
Yahama
Yawan.
Wamashana.
Yaka. Nasha'a. Wa. Ra'ash. Al-Amaka.
Ya'irayam.
Wa. Sawad.
Waya.
Thaya. Aitazawa. Altazapawan. Yaka. Amarwa. Lakawa. Wanakayadam. Magaya. Wala'ah. Yazakar.
Sham Yasher
Yasharala. Iwad. Kaya.
Nawa Aitazawa.
Love.
Yakadwa. Al Yakar.
Baryat.
Yakarathwa. Ahalya. Adawam. Wayashmai Allah Salakia. Alayam.
Yashamai Alayam.
Mawa'aba. Wahagariam. Gabal. Wa'amawan. Wa'amalak. Palashat. I'm Yeshabia. Tazawar. Gamashawar. Nalawat. Imam. Hayawa. Zarawai. Labanya. Lawat. Salat. Aisha. Laham. Kamadian. Ka. Sayasara.
Sayasara.
Kayabyan.
Kayabyan.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Koyashwan.
Koyashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Ba'ayan.
Ba'ayan.
Da'ara.
Da'ara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La'adama.
La'adama.
Shayathamwa.
Shayathamwa.
Narayabmawa.
Narayabmawa.
Kaira.
Kaira.
Wakazaba.
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 Wakazabak.
Salakia. Waka.
Waka.
Tazal.
Tazal.
Manai.
Manai.
Ka.
Ka.
Nasa Yokamwa.
Nasai
Kama.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Nayara. Salakia. Nayarasha.
Yarasha.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Ah. Na'athwa.
Na'awa.
Alahaya.
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 Shayathamwa.
Shayathamwa.
Kagaga.
Kagalgala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya.
Lapanya.
Rakat.
Rakat.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Thaba'ira.
Thaba'ira.
Ya'ira.
Ya'ira.
Waka.
Waka.
Lahaba.
Lahaba.
Thalahat.
Thalahat.
Haryam.
Haryam.
Khan.
Khan.
Tharadama.
Tharadama.
Basa'iraka.
Basa'iraka.
Waba.
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 Sawak.
Sawak.
Pafka.
Pafka.
Tha'abahalam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'at.
Mala'at.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Kwalawan.
Kwalawan.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wayabakwashwa.
Shaka.
Shaka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Bahawa.
Bahawa.
Ayai.
Ayai.
Waya.
Waya.
Kaparwa.
Kaparwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Abadwa.
Abadwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Da'aiwa.
Da'aiwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Tha.
Atha.
Shaka.
Shaka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labaka.
Labaka.
Al-Yawan.
Al-Yawan.
Al-Rataza.
Al-Rataza. In English, what we said, keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy
And
peace.
be not still, O God.
And be not still, O
For
God.
lo, thine enemies make a tumult,
Thine enemies make a tumult.
and they that hate thee
And they that hate
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
and consulted against thy hidden
And
ones.
consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
That the name of Israel
may be no more in
may be no
remembrance.
more in
may be no
remembrance.
more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one
They are
consent.
confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The
the
tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the
of
Ishmaelites,
Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarenes.
and the Hagarenes.
Ashur also is joined with them.
Ashur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kasan.
At the brook of
Which
Kasan.
perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like a
And
ram.
like Zeb.
And like Z.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes as Zabah.
All their princes as Zabah.
And as Zalmunna.
And as Zalmunna,
Who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
O my God,
Oh my God,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the
and
wood,
as the flame setteth the mountain on fire.
And as the flame setteth the mountain on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
so persecute them with thy tempest,
and make them afraid with thy
and
storm.
make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Let
let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame and perish,
let them be put to shame and perish,
that men may know that thou,
that men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
art the most high over all the earth.
We're going to say the prayer for power in the Hebrew and then read it in the English. The prayer for power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Basham.
Basham.
Yahshua.
Yahushua.
Yahshua.
Wakashah.
The Thundernawa,
Akak.
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 Larpa'a.
Larpa'a.
Kamakala.
Kalmakala.
Wakamadawa.
Wakalmanawa.
Akak.
Akak.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Hamatazarayim.
Hamatazarayim.
Akak.
Akak.
Lahakoyam.
Lahakoyam.
Hamathayam.
Hamathayam,
Akak.
Akak.
Aurkawa.
Aurkawa.
Ha Tama'ala.
Hatama'ala.
Garsha.
Garsha.
Basham.
Basham.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Wadaman.
Wadaman.
What we said in English. Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the
The
power.
power to heal
The power to heal.
all manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the
The
leper.
power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
We're going to read Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahahariah.
Ahari.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isaiah.
Isaiah. Isaiah.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shah.
Shah.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Wa'aratazah.
Wa'aratazah.
Al-Yathan.
Al-Yathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Galka.
Galka.
Al-Yanwan.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yashan.
Yashan.
Shalmar.
Shalmar.
Yasharallah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka. Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyanka.
Yamyanka.
Yamam.
Yawamam. Ashamash. La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayrak.
Wayrak.
Wilayallah.
Wilayallah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Wakarat.
Wakarat.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapashka.
Athnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Tazahka.
Tazahka.
Wabawa'aka.
Ubawa'aka.
Ma'aitha.
Ma'aitha.
Wa'aid
Wa'aid
Awalam.
Wa'aid Awalam. In English, what we said. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my
My
help?
help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from
which
Yahweh,
made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and
You
earth.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming
from
in
this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Basham.
Basham.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Rakmanawa.
Now.
Wayasha'ala.
Wayasharallah.
Wahabayat.
Wahabayah.
Saparia.
Sapari.
Basham.
Basham.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Wadaman.
Wadaman.
What we said in English, Lord,
Lord,
in the name of Yahushua,
in the name of Yahushua,
bless us,
bless us
and Israel,
and Israel
and the school,
and the school.
bless,
Bless,
heal,
heal,
shield,
shield,
protect.
protect.
Salaki, 1 second. Trooper Sawa,
Trooper Sawa,
Trooper Sawa,
Trooper Sawa,
Trooper Sawa,
Trooper Sawa.
in the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua.
Oh, Salaki, is there anybody wants to pray for?
Livra Batelmi.
Levi Batelmi,
Livra Batelmi.
Levi Batelmi,
Livra Batelmi.
Levi Batelmi. In the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua.
thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
We're going to read the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
the King of heaven
the King of heaven
and earth,
And earth,
and all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses,
Punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
And death.
And death
To the heathen.
to
to
the
the
heathen,
heathen
that speak against us.
that speak against
Thy
us.
prophets.
thy prophets,
The teachers.
The
The
teachers,
princes.
the
The
princes,
priests.
the priests,
The Israelite brothers.
the Israelite brothers,
And the school.
and the schools.
Send evils and curses.
Send
evils and curses,
And punishment.
and
and
punishment,
And destruction.
and destruction,
And death.
and
and
death,
death
To the heathen.
to the heathen,
Shake loose.
and shake loose
The pockets.
the
the
pockets
pockets
Of the rich of
of the
Israel.
rich
of the
of
rich of
Israel
Israel
That refuse to give to the school.
that refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches into thy sanctuary.
Force their riches into thy sanctuary.
Send evil and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment.
And punishment.
And destruction.
And destruction.
And death.
And death.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the government of our enemies.
All the government of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues.
Amalek synagogues.
And armies.
And armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitatus.
The gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
The lesbian movement.
Spies. Workers of witchcraft. NASA space program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
And
the airwaves.
And
the cable access
channels.
And the radio channels. Convict the spirit. Of any of thy people. That seek to stop us. Bring swift death. To all the heathen. That stand in the way. Or try to stop us. From broadcasting. Your words. Throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go through and forth. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth.
Cause them to go to and fro through the earth.
And destroy.
And
cause the plagues.
To
come against America.
And
destroy them. In their strongholds. Let America shake. At the hands of the plagues. Let Yahushua. Michael. And Gabriel. Come down with the flying saucers. And kill all the heathen. That come up against us. As we speak thy word. Cause it to be known. By all that is. The angels. That have done it. Cause it to be spread. Throughout the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake it thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. Always. So be it. Last prayer, the prayer for the power structure. Barakatha Yahweh. Wa Yahushua. Wa Mayaka'ala. Wa Alahaya. Matazabia. Alawapia. Ha Suranya. Ha Kwatazanyanya. Hakaya Yalyam. Ha Kwafia. Yahweh. Bashem. Yahushua.
Tuwara Aman.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua. And Michael.
And
the angels. Commanding General Yohanan. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it.
Men of Israel, Akwathiam Sar, which means to turn. You may be seated. Sawada. All right. Let's get it. Clap it up. Come. Huh? Yeah. All right, let's get it. So, Barak, you're going to take me to Leviticus 23, and you're going to read it in the Hebrew for us, right? Before we start, this is the memorial of blowing trumpets, right? This is the holiday it's a day that we celebrate in remembrance of all the times the Most High saved us, right? As we get into the breakdown, you'll understand that when we blow trumpets, we had watchmen in Israel, right? We would blow trumpets to Salakia. Let the people know that danger is on the rise, right? Right now, who's supposed to be blowing your trumpets, right? Is the Christian church blowing the trumpets for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to let them know the danger of the world we live in, right? It's not your leaders. It's not none of these weak rappers who rap about death and murder, and we're supposed to cry at them when they get murdered. You rap about our sisters being whores and drug dealing to all our people, and then we're supposed to cry when you get your chain snatched because you were murdered. Now, no brother is supposed to be murdered, right? But those aren't our watchmen, right? Your watchmen are in the UPK, right? So let's get it in. We're going to get it in. We're going to read Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Get some rum from the
This one?
yeah.
No touch?
Nah, leave that for now. So we're gonna read. Like there's a bunch of drinks. We're gonna read in Leviticus the 23rd chapter, the first 7 verses in the Hebrew. So as we get more men into this body, into this school, you'll see brothers start to switch out at the every 7 verses, right? That's what we do it traditionally. Every 7 verses, a brother will switch out to read the Hebrew, right? So we're gonna have Officer 50 Barakia Allah read the Hebrew, and in Leviticus the 23rd chapter.
Khan.
So you read the first 7 verses.
Verse 1. Wayadabar Yahweh all. Masha La Asham the bar all Banya Yasharala Wa Amar.
Oh, Salakia, my bad. Officer, no, Barak, you can continue reading. My bad, Salakia.
Wa Martha Alaham Mawa'idya Yahweh Ashar Takorawa Atam Makwara'aya Kwadash Allah Ham Mawa'idya Shashat Yamayam the Aisha Malaka Wabaya Wam.
Salakia, bro. The food's in the kitchen. Y'all can start eating whenever you're ready. Salakia, lawyer, come here for a second. You can keep reading, Barak.
Kawakan. Ashaba Ya I Shabbat Salakia Shabbatawan Makara Kodash Kal.
That's no.
That's a cow. That's the mom.
No, that's the mom. That right there is a mom. Yeah, that's a mom.
Mal. So
It's the same thing. It's just some of them are different.
okay. Malama La the Aishawa Shamath Slakia Shabbat Hawa'a Laya Hawa
Salakia, please take over for a
Makal.
second. When he's English, read the English and break it down for a second.
Mawa Shabbat Yakam, Allah, Mawa'idya, Yahweh, Makara Aya, Kodash, Ashar, Takara Awa, Atham, Bamawa, Slakia, Bamawa I Dam, verse 5. Bakadash, Hara'a, Shawan, Ashwan, Salakia. Barabai, Aishar, Lakadash, Bayan, Ha'ira Yam, Basak, Layahawa, verse 6. Wabakamasha, Aishar, Yawam, Lakadash, Hazaa, Kag, Amaitaza Wath, La Yahweh, Shabaita, Yahweh, Matazawat,
I'll be after.
Ta'ad Kalwa,
Y'all gonna eat right now?
Bayawam,
Lawyer.
Hara'at
Is there a man?
Sharwan, Ashwan,
Okay.
Makro'ah, Kodash, Yahweh, Lakam, Kav, Ma La Akad, Ibada, La, Ta'aishawa.
Okay, throughout a priest. All right, so that was the Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, the first 7 verses in the Hebrew, right? So now we're going to read it and break it down in the English.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord.
Right, so these right now, what we're celebrating, these are the feasts of the Lord. This is not your gay birthday.
No.
Right? This is not gay Christmas. This is not whatever heathen holiday that you choose to celebrate because you're in the world and you don't have the Holy Spirit. This is not that. This is what the Lord wanted us to celebrate. The Lord doesn't give a damn about Thanksgiving turkeys or all the stuffings and all the feasts that you prepare for yourself. Right? The Lord, he doesn't smell it. He doesn't care about it. And this is why our islands where we live are being plagued, right? This is why hurricanes are tearing up where we live and where we inhabit in. This is why the heathens are over us because we're not celebrating these holidays. We're doing everything that the Lord does not want us to do. These are the days that the Lord wanted us to celebrate. Baruch Shah.
Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts.
These are the feasts of the Lord. A holy convocation is a separate gathering unto the Lord. Keep reading.
Verse 3. 6 days shall work be done.
Doesn't this sound like something that you don't go through in your everyday life? The oppressor, he wants to work you 24 hours a day for 8 days a week. he wants to have you working. He does not want you to rest because in his mind, you're just a slave to him, right? In the Lord's mind, you are the children of Israel, the princes and princesses of the earth, right? You have his name. Read.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest.
On the seventh day, the Sabbath of rest. Now listen, the Lord created the earth in 6 days, and on the seventh day, the angels in Christ got to rest. That's when they rest, and that's why we take a rest, because it's time for us to rest now, right? It's a day that we rest, we chill out, we get to enjoy the family, we get to gather together because we don't get to do this on a regular basis. Keep reading.
And holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein.
We're not supposed to do any work. Now, listen, some of us had to work today, right? That's because the oppressor is the devil, the Bible speaks us.
Right.
And he has us working even when we don't want to be working. But today, some of us were working, right? The oppressor, he's going to pay for that. Now, if in our kingdom, when Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans rule the earth, we're going to have the days off that we're supposed to have. Like, just like how they shut down the earth for Christmas, right? The whole earth shuts down for Christmas, especially if Christianity is in that land, right? We're going to have on our high holy days, the earth shut down, right? No one's going to be working. Keep reading.
Come. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
In all our dwellings, wherever we are, right? And you listen to some fake Israelites, they'll tell us we're not supposed to do this. We don't have to do it no more. You listen to a pastor earlier today, some Christian woman tried to recruit me into her Filipino church. And I told her that the Bible that you're clutching onto, that's only for the Israelites, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And she said, no, it's for everybody. And I just didn't have any time. I had more important things to do. You got to show me that, but right now you can't show me because I got to go, right? In all our dwellings, we're going to be celebrating the feast of the memorial of blowing trumpets. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
Right. So in the seasons, these are different seasons all throughout the calendar. If you're in the ISUPK or you're an Israelite, we got Salakia. We got a calendar with a bunch of different high holy days and memorial days all throughout the year. Right? That's what happens. In these seasons, we're going to remember these days. Like right now, we're in fall where everything's about to start dying. And we're remembering what it was like when every time we had to blow the trumpets, when Amalek would attack us from behind. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto Yahweh.
All right, so we start our holidays with the Passover. What is the Passover? It's when we remember. It's a time when we were in Egypt, just like we're in Canada, and a bunch of evil nations were over us, right? And in the Passover case, it was the Hamites, right? So-called Africans. Right. Just like America, Egypt is just like America, where all the nations came and dwelt in Egypt and had Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in captivity, building their society. Now go through. We're in Montreal right now, right? Go all throughout Montreal, all throughout Toronto, all throughout all the cities in Canada. Who is building up these cities? It's so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We work the worst jobs. We get paid the least. We don't get the loans that the heathen nations get. They get to buy all these houses while we have to suffer, right? And whenever there's a situation where a country is going through some turmoil, right? Canada opens up its doors, its arms for these heathen nations. Last year, when Haiti was going through it, Canada did not open their door for them.
Right.
Right? So we got to remember Passover for when the Lord he put the firstborn of all the Egyptians to death for us because we're his firstborn. Yahshua Allah, Israel is his firstborn. And then right after that, we had the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and that unleavened bread is so sweet, right? You put a little bit of honey on it. So like, I'm gonna just let you know when Passover is going on, wherever Commanding General Yohanan says the Passover is, get there. That's where you want to be, right? Because that's where all the brotherhood and sisterhood is going to be. Keep reading.
7 days he must eat unleavened bread.
So during the Feast of Unleavened Bread, there's going to be 7 days where we eat unleavened bread, right? 7 days of eating unleavened bread because while we were running from Egypt, we didn't have time to bake bread. The process of baking bread it's a tedious process where you knead the flour, you set the yeast in it, and then you got to wait for that dough to rise so you can bake it. The unleavened bread has no yeast. It doesn't rise. We had to make it quick because we were on the go. We had to go. Read.
Verse 7. In the first day ye shall have an holy convocation.
In the first day, we're going to have a separate gathering. Read.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
We're not going to do any servile work therein. Oh, Salaki, what is that? That's verse 7? Come. With that listen, this is the day where we don't work. We just chill out. We just have a good time, right? It's a separate gathering. We're not going to be working. We're going to be chilling out, enjoying the family, just like we're doing right now. Wherever there's an ISUPK under Commanding General Yohanan, right? A One West school, right? ISUPK is the only One West. Wherever that school is in your zone or in your city, we're gathering together with families. Some of us haven't seen each other in a while because we work horrible slaveries due to the oppression that we're under. Baraki Allah, can you read verses 8 to 14 in the Hebrew?
Khan. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 8 in the Hebrew. Waha kwa rabat salake. Waha kwa rabat wa brought salake. Batma. Salake, I don't want. Waha kwa rabatham. Ashar. La Yahweh. Shabbai. Yahweh. Bayawam. Ha Shabaya I. Makra Ra'a. Kwadash. Kal. Ma la Akad. Ibada. La. Tai Shawa. Verse 9. Wa Yadabar. Yahweh. Al. Sha. Slakia. Basha. La Amar. Verse 10. The bar. Al. Bayan. Slakia. Banya. Yasharala. Wa Martha. Wa Marat. Alaham. Kaya. Taba'awa. Al. Haratza. Ashar. Anya. Nathan. Lakam. Wakwataza Thumb. Atha. Kwataza Yara. Wahaba Thumb. Atha. Aymar. Rashayat. Kwatazaya Rakam. Al. Hakahan, verse 11. Wahana, Wahanayap, Atha, Haimar, Lapanya, Yahweh, Laratiza Nakam, Mamakar, Mamakarta, Mamakarat, Hashabath, Yanaya Panwa, Hakahan, verse 12. It's like till verse 14, right?
Come.
Wa'ai Shayatham, Bayawam, Hanya Pakam, Atha, Ha'imara, Kabash, Thamayam, Ban, Shanatawa, La'ila, Layahawa. So like Layahawa. Verse 13. Wamanakathawa. Shanya. Aishar na Yam. Salat. Balawala. Bashaman. Asha. Layahawa. Rayak. Nayakak. Wana Saka. Yayan. Rabayaita. Ahayan. Verse 14. Walakam. Wakwalaya. Wakaramal. La. Ta'a Kalawa. Aitazam. Hayawam. Hazaa. Habaya Akam. Atha. Koraban. Alahayakam. Atha. Aymar. Atana Wapa. Shabai. Shabbatawat. Salak, yeah, I don't want. Escape one. Salak, yeah, I don't want. Yeah, because I skipped the line. I don't want to show you guys one. Give me 1 second, right?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Aywalam. Ladaratha Yakam. Bakal. Ma Sharath Yakam. That's the other one for the verse.
Khan, Bokasha. So you read 14?
Khan.
All right. Officer Shariwan, Bokasha, can you read verses 8 to 14? In English?
This book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 8. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh 7 days.
Right. So Salaki, where are we right now? But ye shall. All right. So this is the feast of unleavened bread, right? It goes for 7 days. We're going to make an offering by fire. That offering by fire, we're going to be cooking. We're going to be having a feast, right? We're going to be gathering and doing what Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans do the best in the earth, right? Which is cook. Have a good time. No one can cook better than a sister. Good night. Listen. Right. Get these sisters a hand. Because these sisters, they be making food, right? We got some brothers. We got a brother with us. He put that plate up like good night. He knows Slovakia. No one cooks better than a Black, Hispanic, or Native American. Straight up and down. Right? And we're gonna have a good time. An offering made by fire.
Right.
Read.
In the seventh day is an holy convocation.
A separate gathering in the seventh day. Holy is separate. We're a holy people, a separate people. No one has a swag that Blacks, Hispanics, and listen. I was on my way to where we're at right now, right? If you're in Montreal, you want to get to Slovakia. Where are we right now? We are. Hold up. 5160
Westbury.
We're at 5160 Westbury. If you're in Montreal, you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American. That's where you want to be right now, right? You want to be here because everywhere else is going to be a horrible place for you, right? Slovakia, right? That's where you want to be right now, right? Slovakia. Where were we? Oh yeah, it's going to be 7 days of feasting. We're going to have a holy convocation, a separate gathering, and we're not going to do any servile work. Keep reading.
You shall do no servile work therein. Verse 9. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come into the land which I give unto you.
The Lord gave us land. Right? Who's giving you land right now? You have to go beg your oppressor to get some bank loan and then go in some crazy game. Like, I don't know if anybody's ever tried to buy a house. It's a game, right? They say, okay, so you got $1 million mortgage, Slovakia, $1 million mortgage from your oppressor, right? And now you gotta go bid on $1 million house, and then some other heathen comes around and says, I'm going to put up 1.2 million. Now you don't get a house. Right? The Lord gave us land while everyone before that we dwelled in the wilderness for 40 years. Right? If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American, you live in a wilderness right now. Like right now, as you speak, you live in a wilderness. We're not in the land. Outside the land is the wilderness. Keep reading.
And shall reap the harvest thereof. Then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruit of your harvest unto the priest. Verse 11, and ye shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it.
Right. So in our land, we're going to, as we get our first harvest, right? As we get our first harvest, we're going to Slovakia. We're going to give it to the priest, right? The best of that harvest, we're going to give to the priest. They're going to Slovakia, first fruits. This is our first fruits celebration. We're going to give that to the harvest. It's a sacrifice, right? Because you're giving the best that you have to the Lord, right? Keep reading.
Verse 11. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you.
It's going to be a wave offering as we come into the as this is happening in front of the congregation. You give the first of what you got to the Lord. He's going to wave to the priest. The priests are going to wave it as an offering onto the Lord, right? Meaning they're going to show it to the Lord, show it to the people. Keep reading.
On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it.
Read.
Verse 12. And ye shall offer that day, when ye wave the sheaf, and he lamb without blemish of the first year.
Now a he lamb without blemish, that's the best you got, right? A he lamb without blemish of the first year is the best lamb that you got. You're going to take the best of what you have and give it to the Lord, right? Now currently we're not sacrificing. We're not offering sacrifices to the Lord because Yahushua, who the earth ignorantly paints as a white man and calls Jesus Christ, right? was our sacrifice. He sacrificed himself so we could live, so we can come into this truth, so we would not be under our oppressors, right? What you do now is you sacrifice yourself, right? I know you want to start a business, you want to sell all the drugs, you want to sleep with every whore that you walk across, you want to take a sister and then throw her away, right? You got to sacrifice yourself, right? Because if you don't sacrifice yourself, it's what are you doing, right? It's time for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to stop going after every lust that we have and give ourselves to our Lord and to our nation, right? You just a second ago, you had, listen, there's always some big head Israelite sister or brother who thinks they know better than Commanding General Yohana. They're going to make a movie called Woman King.
Right.
And she don't give a damn about her people. She doesn't understand the hurt that it's going to cost to even watch a movie. They made a movie about a tribe of Africans who were selling us into slavery, who decided to go into war so they could stop selling us to slavery after they made all that money. And we're supposed to go take all our hard-earned money that we make in this slavery, right, and go spend it on some stupid movie to make this sister rich, right? Keep reading.
For a burnt offering unto the Lord.
Right. These things that we offer unto the Lord, the best that we give, right, is a burnt offering unto the Lord. Now you're the offering. Give your best to your nation. Give your best to your Lord. Keep reading.
Verse 13. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour.
Read.
Mingled with oil.
Keep
an
reading.
offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Right. This is an offering made by fire. Again, we're sacrificing animals that someone's going to eat, that we're going to eat. It's an offering made unto the Lord, and it's seasoned. Who seasons food better than Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Listen, Officer Barack right here. You tell him to go into the kitchen, he's gonna damn near put all the seasonings in it. Good night. Keep reading.
For a sweet savor.
Read.
And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine.
Right, just like you seen us earlier, we did a wine sacrifice. Right, we offered wine because that's what we did. The Christian church is going to tell you can't drink, and then they're going to try and sleep with some pastor is going to say you can't drink, and then sleep with another brother's wife in his church. The Pope is going to tell you you can't do this and that, and then molest your child. Right, and here we know the truth. Right.
Give her to me.
Right. And here we know the truth. Right? We know the truth, and we know that, listen, there's nothing wrong with a drink as long as you're not getting drunk to the point where you don't remember what's happening. You're not stumbling. Keep reading.
The fourth part of an hin. Verse 14. And ye shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that ye have brought an offering unto your God.
Right. So what this is basically saying is until we make these offerings on that day, we're not really going to eat. We want to make sure the first things we do are these offerings. And then we're going to eat something. Then we're going to have a good time. Then we're going to have our gatherings, right? But go make that sacrifice, right? That's what we would do when we were in our kingdom. And this is going to come back in full effect. Christ is going to be sitting on the throne, right? And Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are going to rule the earth because we're supposed to rule the earth. Who's more compassionate and more kind than a Black, Hispanic, and Native American? Now, I know someone's listening to this and saying, what are you talking about? The brothers and sisters in my neighborhood, they're evil people. That's because of oppression. Oppression will make you be evil towards your brother and sister. But in here, this is the most loving place you'll ever be for all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Come.
If I may, I want just to paraphrase, right? Oppression will make a wise man mad. You understand? This is just to show, like, the state that we're in right now, just like somebody would say, the evil.
the brothers and sisters in their zone are evil, whatever the case is. Like you said, it's because of our oppression. You understand? It's because we don't have no chance to live. All the nations are able to live. The only thing we can do with Black Hispanics and Native Indian people in this wicked empire is barely survive.
Right.
You understand?
Right. And it's now listen, today we sacrifice ourselves. Fake Israelites will tell us don't do it, right? They'll say that we can't make any sacrifices. We can't keep these high holy days. Bubba Kasha, Officer Shaywan, can you get me Judges 5 and 11? Right. This is for the people who say that we're not supposed to keep these feasts. They just don't know that they're supposed to. They don't have that spirit. The Lord is not with them. They're not in the truth. They don't have any leaders. What are you gonna do? Go join the FOI?
So we can receive this nurture.
Salaki?
We're starving up so we can receive these nurturers.
What do you mean by that?
We're gonna starve enough. Say if they think we don't deserve it, we're starving enough, and when we receive it, we appreciate it more than they do.
Con. Right.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers are in the places of drawing water. There shall they rehearse the righteous acts.
They shall do what?
Rehearse the righteous acts.
Right. That's why we're doing this right now, because we're rehearsing the righteous acts. Shalom, sir. Yahal Bashim El Shai. Thawada, we got Officer Abon in the chat. Thawada, sir.
Yabashim Sharaf.
Salakia. So we're going to rehearse the righteous acts, and that's why we keep these feast days. Baba Kasha, Officer Shariwan, do me one more. Jump to Romans 12 and 2, right? Because the whole earth is going to tell you, when in Rome, do as the Romans. That is not what our God wants. Because we've been doing as the Romans, crack cocaine is in every neighborhood. Because we're doing as the Romans, listen, there are shootings happening in Montreal more than ever. And I've never even heard of shootings in Montreal. I didn't even know they had guns in Montreal. Right? And in every neighborhood in Canada, there's going to be more shootings, more trauma, more death, more murder. Another rapper, listen, how many rappers are getting killed in your city? I think in the last, I don't know, it has to be like 6 months. What, 2 rappers have died in this city?
So like even more out of them.
Even more, right? It just keeps happening. Show you one. You can read it whenever you got it.
Slack, you say verse 2?
Con 12 and 2.
12 and 2, Slack.
Yeah, Romans 12 and 2.
Okay.
We're gonna see what Paul said.
Slack, come. This is Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
Right. Be not conformed to this world. In this world, we're not doing the things that our oppressor wants us to do. Our oppressors want our sisters to walk around naked. Now, just ask yourself, right? If you have a daughter, do you want her walking around naked? Our oppressor wants our sons to be gay. Now, ask yourself, if you have a son, do you want him to be gay? Is there any more in that?
Come. But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Renew your mind. Come into this school knowing that you're an Israelite. There's holidays we're supposed to celebrate. There's days we're supposed to celebrate and gather together. Was that it?
Awesome.
Keep reading.
That ye may prove what is good, that acceptable and perfect will of God.
Right. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments is the acceptable, perfect will of God. Officer Shariwan, you could jump back to Leviticus 23.
Come, sir.
I believe you're at
We're in Leviticus 23
14, the last part of it.
and verse 14. And ye shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that ye have brought an offering unto your God.
Right. We got to do this first. Give these sacrifices to the Lord first before we go into having a day of food. before we go into eating, before we go into just going about our life, we're gonna make sure these things happen first. Baraka Allah, can you read 15 to 21 in the Hebrew, Baba Kushai?
Karawakan, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 15. What sapar thumb, the kam mama karat Hasharath, Ma Yawam, Abaya Kam, Atha, I, Aymar, Hatan Wapa, Shabai, Shabbatawat, Tamayamat, Tahayana, verse 16. I, Mamakarat, Hashabat, Hashabaya I, Tasaparawa, Kamashayam, Yawam, Wakorabat, Thumb, Manaka, Kadasha, Layawa. Verse 17. Mama wa shabathaya kam. Abayawa. Lakam. Tanawapa. Shathayam. Shanya. Aishurana Yam. Salat. Tahayayana. Kamatza. Ta'apayana. Bakawarayam. Layahawa. Wahakwa Rabatam. Ayal. Halakam. Shaba'ait. Kabashayam. Amayamam. Banya. Shana. To what verse?
To 21.
Come. Wapara. Ban. Bakwar. Akkad. Wayalam. Shanyam. Yahayawa. Yahayawa. Ayla. Layahawa. Wamanakata. It's like it. Wamanakatham. Wanasakayaham. Asha. Rayak. Nayakak. Layahawa. Verse 19. Wa'aisha yatham. Sha'ai yar. Aizayam. Akkad. Lakataata. Washanya. Kabash yam. Bayan. Banya. Shana. Laza. Saka, what was that?
What verse you
Verse 19.
Come.
Lazabak. Shalamayam. Verse 20. Waha na yap. Hakahan. Hatham. Ayah. Lakam. Habaka Rayam. Tanawa Pa. Lapanya. Yahweh. Ayah. Shanya. Kabashayam. Kodash. Yahweh. La Yahweh. Lakahan. Verse 21. Wakwara Ba'ai Tazam. Hayawam. Hazah. Makwara. Kodash. Yahweh. Lakam. Kal. Shalakad. Ibada. La'ah. Ta'ai Shawa. Kakwath. Iwalam. Bakal. Mawasha Bata Yakam. Ladar. Tayakam. That's the end of the verse. I don't want.
Come, that's the end of 21.
Come.
Officer Shaw, can you read 15 to 21 in the English, Brother Shaw?
Come, sir. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, and verse 15. And he shall count unto you from the morrow, after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths.
Right, so you're going to count 49 days, right? Damn near 50 days, right? Christians call this Pentecost. That's why they celebrate the day of Pentecost, right? Keep reading.
Okay. 7 Sabbaths shall be complete, even unto the morrow. After the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days. And ye shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahweh.
Right, keep reading.
Verse 17. Ye shall bring out of your habitation 2 wave loaves of 2 tenths deals. And they shall be of fine flour. They shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto Yahweh.
Right, we're going to have a new meat offering. Right, this is the day of first fruits. Right, we're gonna count, and you're gonna go into the first fruits. Right, and as we do that, that's another high holy day. Right, that we're going to celebrate. Keep reading.
Verse 18. And he shall offer the bread 7 lambs without blemish.
Now listen, you're supposed to offer 7 lambs, and if you didn't have lambs, we traded. Basically, you would take your money and buy 7 lambs, right? That's what you would do, because we traded. We traded within our people. That's something we don't do today. Today, we take all our money, we run into the first Edomite store or more Moabite store and give all our money to them, and then our nation has nothing. Like, you think about we have a $1 billion industry that we reap none of the benefits of. All the money goes back to East India or China, and that's the hair industry. And Black people, we love our hair. We spend thousands of dollars on hair products, and none of that money stays in our community. Keep reading.
Okay. Of the first year, and 1 young bullock and 2 rams, they shall be for a burnt offering unto Yahweh.
Keep reading.
With their meat offering and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto Yahweh.
Keep reading.
Verse 19. And ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering.
Right? We had sin offerings. We had sin offerings and peace offerings. And these are all the offerings we would give to the Lord. Why we gave these to the Lord? Because it's the Lord's anyways. Now, I know you think, here's the crazy part that everybody knows that the Most High made the earth, right? But you think that you actually own stuff in the earth when the Most High owns all of it.
Right.
I bring up the fact that a lot of us, we want to start businesses, but we don't want to serve the Most High, and it's going to fail.
Right.
You want to build a community that is going to fail because you don't serve the Most High. We had communities. We had Black Wall Street. We had Seneca Village. We had Africaville out east in Canada, and all those communities failed. Go to Nova Scotia and look at Africaville. Right? It's full of garbage because the Judites over there and the so-called Benjamites over there do not serve the Most High. Try to do something without serving the Most High, it's going to fail because everything is the Most High. You give those 7 lambs without blemish to the Most High because they're His. He could take away everything from you and you won't have nothing. Do you know how many Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are sleeping under bridges right now? Just go to Atwater in Montreal where we are. You're going to see Gadites sleeping under bridges right now, sleeping in the metro right now. Right?
Right.
Keep reading.
And 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings. Verse 20. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before Yahweh. With the 2 lambs, they shall be holy to the Lord for the priests. Verse 21. And he shall proclaim on the self-same day.
Wait, bring me back to verse 20, Baba Kashan.
Come on.
Just the last part.
Come on. They shall be to the Lord for the priests.
Right. You go give these offerings to the priest. You want to know why you go give it to the priest? Because the Lord told you to. And if you just leave it up to yourself to be like, I'm just going to do it on my own, you're not going to do it. Just like you're not going to be in the truth, right? Because if you leave it to yourself, you don't want to do that anyways. You don't want to sacrifice because you're selfish and you have no love in you, right? So you would go give it to the priest because you can't turn around and lie to the priest and say, hey, I sacrificed it. No, the priest, he was there. He knows what you brought. And if you lie, listen, you're not stealing from the priest. You're stealing from God.
Khan.
Read.
Verse 21. And he shall proclaim on the selfsame day that it may be an holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations.
Right. These are statutes forever that we're supposed to keep throughout our generations, throughout our dwellings, right? A fake Israelite is going to tell you, listen, you can't do it outside of the land, right? But again, we read how we're practicing and rehearsing the righteous acts.
Right.
Right. Baba Kasha, Officer Salakia. Officer Shaywan, you want to read some of the Hebrew?
No, so that's fine.
Come on. Y'all can switch up the Hebrew and the English right quick. Fill all that. All right, so we just read 21 in the English. Right now we're going to read 22 to 28 in the Hebrew.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 22 in the Hebrew. Wabakwa Tazama'am Ath Kwatazayara Ara Tazama'am Ah Thamala Pa'ath Shaddam Ba Kwatazara Walakwat Kwatazirayam Ah Salakia La'ah Thalaquat, La'ainia, Walagar, Tha'izah, Atham, Anya, Yahweh, Elohim. Verse 23. Waya Dabar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, La'amar. Verse 24. Dabar, Al, Banya, Ya, Salakia, Yasharala, La'amar, Bakadash, Hashaba'aya, Ba'akad, Lakadash, Yahweh, Lama, Mabathan, Salakia, Mabathawan, Zamarawan, Thabawaiha, Makwara'a, Kwadash. Verse 25. Ma, Malama'a, Ibada, La'a, Tha'ashawa, Waha, Kwarabatham, Asha, La Yahaya. Verse 26. Wayadabar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, La'amar. Verse 27. Basha'ira, Lakwadash, Yashaba Ya'aya, Yaziyah, Yawam, Hamapara Yam, Hawa'a, Makwara'a, Kwadash, Yahweh, Lamar, Wa'aya, Yatham, Napashatha Yamam, Waha, Kwara Batham, Asha, La Yahweh. Salaki, sir, to verse 28.
Okay.
Verse 28. Wama, Ma La'ama, La'a, Tha'aishwa, Ba'aitazam, Ha-Yawam, Hazah, Maya, Yawam, Maparaya, Slaki, Maparaya, Hawa'a, Lamapar, Ailayam, Lapanya, Yahweh, Alahim. That's the end of verse 28. So.
The water priest. Baba Kashah, can you read 22 to 28 in the English?
Khan Wakan. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 22. And when you reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of the field. When thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am Yahweh, your God.
Right. So what we just read is, listen, when you had land, we grew things. You might have grew apples, or you might have made wine. You might have been someone who had a vineyard, right? Acres of grapes, right? When you would pick the grapes or pick the grapes to make your wine, you would leave the border, right? Just imagine a square. Leave the outside of the square and take everything on the inside. The outside of the square, which would be the border of your land or the border of your vineyard, you wouldn't pick those grapes. You would leave it for some poor brother down on his luck, right? Our oppressor knows nothing of this. Our oppressor takes everything and just leaves us to be starving and he leaves us to be starving and just hurting in the lands that we own. Keep reading.
Khan, verse 23. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, verse 24, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation.
Right. So we had to remember the Lord, he spoke to us and he said, listen, we're going to remember what it's like to blow the trumpets, right? Salakia. Again, every time we blew trumpets, it was because there was some danger coming on, right? Salakia. Officer Shariwan, can you get me 1 second? I'm looking for a precept. Salakia. Salakia, I'm looking for hold up. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Can you get me Amos 3?
Amos 3, come on. And verse.
Amos 3 and 6. Right? Because again, we blew trumpets to let the people be aware. You would blow a trumpet and the trumpet would sound. Some brother would go to the top of a tower. He would take the trumpet, and we would know. Listen, we would know there's danger on the horizon. Listen, some heathens are coming to attack us. Right? That doesn't happen today because there are no watchmen. Right? Or who you think the watchmen are? You're following the wrong people. The watchmen today are the UPK. We're telling you of all the crazy things that are about to happen. Now, I say crazy just because to you it seems crazy. To us, this is just normal. Listen, hurricanes happening, and listen, we there was supposed to be a storm somewhere today. Messages went out. Make sure you're gathering food. Make sure you have a first aid kit. Make sure you have non-perishable items. Right, those are the messages that are going out. Drake ain't telling you that. Whoever the famous Montreal rapper is or prostitute in this city, she's not telling you that. Salakia. Right, like that's exactly what's happening. You have people who they're not telling you anything. They're just saying, like the brother said, get down with whatever program they have, and that's not our program. Our program is this right here. Our program is a program of love. Baba Shah, you can read that when you got it.
Come on. Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?
Right. When that trumpet blew, people were afraid because they knew it meant war.
Right.
War is on the horizon now. We're at war right now, right? But we're being told to watch all these crazy movies. Loyal.
And it's a lot Caprice. And also in Montreal, like you understand, with the Mohawk and everything, like Montreal was a place exactly when the Mohawk, you understand, when they had a problem, they would light fire and you understand, sound the trumpet at the same time. You understand, like make noise so the people, you understand, the other people, you understand, the other brothers and sisters will know exactly what was going on.
Right, that's heavy. I've been up to that Mount Royal. Listen, there's a part on that mountain that's full of raccoons, and I looked at the whole city the last time I was here. And I said, "Good night." I could see some Gadai up there blowing trumpets, a bunch of Gadais blowing trumpets, and smoke signals going up, and the people being afraid because they knew that war was on the horizon. Right, Salaki. I think that was the end of it. That was really the part I wanted. Khan.
That's not the end of the verse.
Khan, you can keep reading.
Come. And the people not be afraid. Shall there be evil in a city, and Yahweh had not done it?
Right. Now listen, the evil things happening in your city is because you're falling under the curses because you don't want to listen to the Lord. Listen, you sell drugs and someone comes and shoots you in your face because you were selling drugs. That was from the Lord because the Lord didn't want you to sell drugs. Now ask me how I know that you'll get shot in your face and go to jail for selling drugs.
Right.
Because it happened to me. And I had to change my life. Keep reading. Salaki, bring me back to where were we? We're in Leviticus.
Khan, we're in verse 25 out of 1.
Khan.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 25. You shall do no servile work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh.
During this time, we're offering an offering by fire. Listen, the food is sweet. Make sure everyone eat because there's lots of food. Listen, the food has to go to your stomach. It's an offering we made to the Most High, right? We're remembering the righteous acts. Keep reading.
Khan, verse 26. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, verse 27, also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you.
Ooh, listen, the Day of Atonement's coming up. And if you haven't been through the Day of Atonement, it's a day when we fast. We fast because our nation is sinning. And we're afflicting our souls. Do you know what it's like? Okay, another reason we fast is to give up on it's to help fight all the demons that are plaguing us. Listen, you smoke cigarettes, weed, you do any type of drugs, you sleep with whores. If your thing is you gotta sleep with a whore every day, right? After that Day of Atonement, you're not gonna sleep with a whore on that day. If you can go, just raise your hand next time. Right. When if you could give up a sleeping with a whore, if you can give up on any of your demons for a day, you could go a day without food, right? So I'm gonna say it more clear for you. If you can go a day without food and water, your demons are nothing. Right. You could fight any demons. Right. Brother, you had something? No, I'm good. All right, no sweat. It's all good. Don't worry. We're just glad you're here with us. You're eating. You're having a good time. Okay, Most High in Christ. Give that brother that hand. Because he could have been anywhere else in Montreal today, but he's here in a safe place. No harm is coming to you in here. You're gonna be loved in here. Right. That's what we want for all of Montreal. Right? Keep reading.
Karawakan. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh.
Keep reading.
Verse 28. And ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement.
Okay, so we got a Day of Atonement. It's a day where we fast 24 hours from sundown to sundown without food and without water, right? Now listen, don't walk around the city acting like telling everybody, I'm fasting. I didn't eat nothing today. And you didn't brush your teeth. Brush your teeth, spit that toothpaste out in the water. Don't drink none of the water. I know it's gonna be a hard time. Listen, put a post-it on the fridge to remind you that you're not supposed to eat today. Right. And know that it's brotherhood that you're showing your nation. You're showing your nation love because you're willing to sacrifice. There was a man in the earth, a black man who gave up his life. He was tortured. Someone took Salaki. Let me see that knife for a second, Baba Kusha. Someone took a blade like this and put it on the end of a stick and stabbed him in the side. Right, a knife just like a blade like this. And here you go, bro. He sacrificed himself for us. You want to do the same thing for your nation.
Kawakan.
Keep reading.
Kawakan. To make an atonement for you before Yahweh your God. That's the end of the verse.
God, Thawada. This is making atonement for all the sins and all the evilness that we've done. Right? Because again, selling drugs to your brothers and sisters is evil. Sleeping with a sister and throwing her away, it's an evil thing. And I know a lot of us have done it, right? That's because we didn't know better. But once you know better, you do better. You start to change, right? Baba Kasha, can we get 29 to 35 in the Hebrew?
Come. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 29. Verse 29. Maya, Ma, Anapash, Ashar, La'ah, Tha'aina, Ba'ai Tazam, Hayawam, Hazaha, Wanama Ratha. Ma'ain Yaha, verse 30. Wamar. Hanapash. Ashar. Salakia. Aisha. Mar. Ma'al. Salakia. Mala'a Maha. Ba'aitazam. Hayawam. Hazah. Waha. Abathaya. Ath. Hanapash. Hahawa ha. Salakia. Haha wa'a. Makwa Rabah. Aima, verse 31. Mo. Mala'a maha. All. Tha'ishwa. Kakwatha. Salakia. Kakwath. Iwalam. Lada. Thayamama. Bama. Masha. Bathayamam. Verse 32. Shabbat. Shabbath one. Hawa. Lamam. Wa'ai. Nayatham. Ath. Napashta. Yamam. Bathasha'aitha. Lakadash. Ma'irab. Irab. Thashabathwa. Shabbathman. Verse 33. Wayadabar. Yahweh. All. Masha. La'amar. Verse 34. Dabar. All. Banya. Yasharala. La'amar. Bakam Shahab. Aishar. Yawam. Lakadash. Hashaba'aya. Salakia. Yashab Ya'aya. Hazaha. Kab. Hasa Mawath. Shaba'ath. Yam. La Yahaya. Salakia. Verse 35.
Okay.
Verse 35. Bayawam. Hara Ashanya. Makwa Ra'a. Kwadash. Ma. Malamath. Ibada. La'a. Tha'ishwa. Slakia. Tha'ishwa. Verse 36.
That's the one, right? So we read 20 Salakia 29 to 35 in the Hebrew. We're gonna read it quickly in the English, right? Babu Kasha, if you can.
Khan. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 29. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people.
Right. So that was a horrible thing to be cut off from among your people. Imagine being told you can't come around your family no more because you didn't do the sacrifice that everyone else was doing. Like you thought you were better than everybody. Keep reading.
Khan. Verse 30. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people.
Now, a lot of us have to work. We're being forced to work on these days. The oppressor that's forcing you to work, or the brother or sister that's forcing you to work, the sin is going to be on them. If you got to go to work that day, go do it because we're in our captivity. We're not ruling the earth. But one day we'll rule the earth again, and you won't have to work on the Day of Atonement. right? And now if you're a brother or sister that, listen, the Day of Atonement comes, it's better to take the day off because it's a hard thing to go through a whole 24 hours without food and water. And then you got to go slave and work at the same time, right? Now, also, this is not a day for children. Children don't have no sense. Don't be evil. I heard a fake Israelite tell me one time, listen, the child has to atone too. I said, what the hell is the child atoning for? If the child's sinning, that's your fault. You should be atoning. Right? Keep reading.
Khan, verse 31. You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings.
Read.
Khan, verse 32. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and you shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even. From even unto even shall ye celebrate your Sabbath.
Right. So from night to night, from sundown to sundown, we're going to celebrate the Day of Atonement and afflict our souls. We're going to feast on pain. That's what we're going to eat that night. Pain.
Khan. Verse 33. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, verse 34, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles for 7 days unto Yahweh.
Right. We're going to remember what it's like to live in the wilderness, right? Because as we ran out of Egypt, we're in the wilderness. We're in the wilderness right now. See, listen,
right.
What are you thinking? You're some Christian Israelites telling you got to go in your backyard and sleep in the tent. Your neighborhood is the backyard anyways. Your neighborhood is the wild anyways. Keep reading.
Verse 35. Leviticus chapter 23. Verse 35, on the first day shall be an holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein.
Right. The first day of this celebration, it's a holy convocation. We're not supposed to be working, right? Again, it's a horrible thing to tell us we got to work on our holidays, but then they give us the heathens holidays off, and we don't even celebrate them.
Right.
Officer Shari 1, can you read from 36 and finish up the chapter, Baba Kishar?
Come. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, and verse 36. Shabbat Yam Thakwa Rayabawa Asha La Yahaya Bayawam Hamam Lanya Makwara Kwadash Yahweh Lamam Wahakwa Rabatham Asha La Yahaya Slakia I Tazar Tha Hawa'a Ma Malamath Ibada La'a Tha'aishawa. Verse 37. Allah Mawa Idaya Yahweh Ashar Thaqwa Ra'awa Atham Makwara Aya Kwadash Laha Kwara Yaba Ashar La Yahai Salakia La Yahawa Ayla Wamanak Ha Zabak Wanasa Mayam Dabar Yawam Bayawamwa Salakia Baya Wamawa. Verse 38. Malabad Shabbatha Yahawa Slakia Yahawa Wama labad. Matha nawa thayama. Wama labad. Ma. Nada bayama. Wama labad. Ma. Nada batha yamam. Ashar. Thatha nawa. La Yahaya. Verse 39. Baka Mawash. Salakia. Baka Masha. Aishar. Yawam. Lakadash. Hasha. Bayawaaya. Ba'a. Sapama. Af. Thabawa'ath. Ha'aratazan. Thaka. Gawa. Ath. Ka. Yahweh. Shaba'ath. Yam. Bayawam. Ara. Ashawan. Shabbathawan. Wabayawam. Hasha. Salakia. Hasha Mayania. Shab Thawan, verse 40. Wala Kwathamak Lamam Bayawam. Harasha Wana Paraya Aitaza Hadar Mapath Thamarayam Wa'ainapa Aitaza Aibath Wairabanya Nakol Washama Katham Lapanya Yahweh Alahai Mama Shabbai Yam, verse 41. Wakag Thamas Athwa Kag La Yahweh Shabbai Yahweh Bashana Kakwath Iwalam Ladara Thayamam Bakwadash Hasha Bayaya Thakwagwawa Athwa, verse 42. Basamath Thashabwa Shabbaith Yahweh Ma Haratazak all Slaki. Verse 42. Hazaratazak Ba Yasharala Yeshabwa Basamath. That's the end of verse 42. Verse 43. Lama'ain Ya Yada Iwas Dara'ath Yamam Maya Basama Wa'ath Hawa Shabbathaya Ath Banya Yashrala Baha Wataza Za'aya Awatham Marataza Matazaria Anya Yahweh Alahayim So under verse 43. Verse 44. Waya the bar, Masha, off, Maidaya, Yahweh, all, Banya, Yashron.
All right, so that was the end of it in Hebrew. We're going to read in the English quickly. Because we're on the time, we're going to read quickly and then say the Lord's Prayer and bring it close to this class. Right? Can you read 36, Baba Kasha?
Karawakan, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you. And ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. Read. Verse 37. These are the feasts of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy, to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh, a burnt offering, and a meat offering, a sacrifice, a drink offerings, and drink offerings, everything upon his day.
Right. So again, these are the days that the Lord told us to celebrate. We're going to do offerings on these days to the Most High because the Most High said to do it because he gave us everything. And listen, you don't want to believe it. He'll just take everything from you. And then you'll come to the priests and prophets while we're outside giving away food and ask for food because you didn't want to sacrifice. And we'll just say, okay, get in class. Right. Read.
Karawakan. Verse 38. Beside the Sabbaths of Yahweh, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your free will offerings, which he gave unto Yahweh. Read. Verse 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto Yahweh 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
Right. So again, these are the days that the Lord wants us to celebrate. We're going to have rest days where we rest from the hard slavery that we go through. And listen, just look around in your communities and look at if you're ever even on the metro, you see the hard faces of Black, Hispanics, and Native American brothers and sisters who got to get up and go to work every day. For some oppressor that wants to fire them because they're 2 minutes late.
Verse 40, and ye shall take you on the first day of the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook, and you shall rejoice before Yahweh your God 7 days. Verse 41, and you shall keep it a feast unto Yahweh 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Verse 42, you shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
Right. So again, this is the Feast of Tabernacles where we lived in booths just like we do now. You don't own houses. We live in the projects. We live in buildings. We live in places where we got to rent from some heathen that they just deal with us rough. Right. This is how we were when we were walking out of Egypt, and we're in Egypt right now. Canada, the UK, the US. It's all Egypt. The U.S. is more of Egypt than anywhere else, right? But wherever we live, it's a captivity. It's a do you think? Right. We live in a land where listen, our captivity is something that it's horrible. Keep reading.
Karaokan. Verse 43. That your generations may know that
I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am Yahweh your God.
Right. This is the Lord. He made us dwell in booths as we walked out of Egypt for 40 years. Keep reading.
Karamakan. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 44. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of Yahweh.
Listen, these are the days that the Most High told us that we're supposed to celebrate. Right? Again, we're supposed to celebrate these days because the Most High told us to. Right? Listen, Christmas has nothing to do with us. Valentine's Day has nothing to do with us. Your birthday is trash. No one gives a damn about your birthday. The Lord can make you not wake up the day you try to celebrate your birthday.
Right.
And then what? You have a death day? So are you going to celebrate your death day? Right? Again, these are the days we're supposed to celebrate. With that said, we're going to bring it close to the memorial of blowing trumpets. With that, men of Israel, Al-Quathium, Imajim, which means to stand. Sarapanya HaKodam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to read the Lord's Prayer and bring it close to this class.
Kamakan.
The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, which is Matthew 6, verses 8 to 13. Abanawa. Shabashamayam.
Kodash. Haya. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakwatka. Taba'a. Matzaka. Haya. Aisha. Raratiza. Kawa. Haya. Hashmayam. Natananawa. Lakam. Ka. Yawam. Wasalakanawa. Kawagwatnawa. Kasalaknawa. Kawagwatyanawa. Wala'a. Kabayanawa. Manasayawan. Abal. Hoshainawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Waha. Allah. Wataparat. La'ai walamya. Aman. In the English, what we just said. Our Father which art in heaven.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth.
Thy will be done in earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
Our daily bread.
our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
Lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever so be it.
Forever so be it. We read one more prayer. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'a.
Asha.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahahayam.
Aharayam.
Ayanyan.
Mahayan.
Yaba'a.
Yaba'a.
Azariah.
Isaiah. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayam. Waratiza. Ayatan. Lamawat. Galka. Alinawam. Shemarka. Anah. La'a. Anawam. Wala'a. Yashan. Sharmar. Yasharala. Yahweh. Shemarka. Yahweh. Zaka. Ayad. Yamyanka. Yamamam. Ashamash. La'a. Yakaka. Wayrak. Balayala. Yahweh. Shemarka. Makarai. Yashmar. Ashamashka. Yahweh. Yashmar. Tazafka. Wabawaka. Maitha. Wide I will up. In the English, what we just read. I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help comes from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
Which made heaven and earth.
who made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Thou shalt preserve thy going up
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and forevermore.
and forevermore.
Men of Israel, Athwakim Sar, which means to turn. Officer Shah, you want to lead us out?
Come, come. Men of Israel, we're going to do the ISUPK security announcements. We're the ISUPK, start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to show themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Salakia. Will get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months. And so brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers 18, verse 21. In Malachi chapters 3, verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashra means 10th of the Hebrews. 10% of every increase that the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests is not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. You have the date? Upcoming holy convocations. We have the Day of Atonement coming up.
Tuesday, October 4th.
We have the Day of Atonement coming up, which is the 10th day of the 7th month, which on this year's calendar will be Tuesday, the 4th of October, 2022. You can read about it in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 27 to verse 32. Free will offering for priests is not mandatory. To any brother who would like to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel. I imagine, which means stand. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barak Yadam Matah, which means hands down. Sar, turn and face the sisters. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak.
Yahweh Shema Thon Bashem Yahushai.
Yadam Matah. Class dismissed. Salakia.
Come, lawyer, you can come up and make your announcement for Haiti. Haiti, give us 1 second. Haiti, give us 1 moment.
Hey, shalom à tout haïtien, moi, yo, ça nous saute faire là, c'est exactement fête des trompettes. Fête des trompettes que nous saute faire là, vous comprenez? Nous devons retourner exactement dans la vraie culture, nous. Dans la vraie exactement qui ça nous doit faire. Voodoo pas culture. Ça n'a pas là, c'est vrai culture, nous, vous comprenez? Alors, c'est ça nous saute faire là, c'est ça nous fait là, exactement. Alors, là, après ça, nous allons enjoy, nous allons manger, nous allons boire, vous comprenez? Et c'est ça culture, nous, vous comprenez? Avec vrai brotherhood, fraternité que nous devons gagner, avec cela, m'a dit nous shalom Israël.
So, okay, all the sisters, can y'all present yourself for a quick second?
You want me to?
No, you could turn it off.